Bankruptcy. What is that? Hey taxpayers, it's Tiffany Gonzalez CPA here, founder and CEO of Accounting to Scale. And today we're back with another installment of What is that? Where we discuss financial term and topics you may have heard, but we make them super easy to understand. Today we're talking about a subject not a lot of people like to talk about. It has to do with your finances and hardship as it relates to your personal or business situation. So if you've ever heard the taboo term of bankruptcy and you don't know a lot about it or you've thought about it, this is a great video for you to learn more. Tune in and let's start right at the beginning. Bankruptcy. What is that? Bankruptcy is a legal proceeding involving a person or a business who is unable to repay their outstanding debts. The bankruptcy process begins when a petition is filed by the debtor, that is, the person or the business who can't pay their debts. Bankruptcy offers an individual or a business the ability to liquidate and forgive their debts, while also giving a creditor the opportunity to be able to get some debt repayment based on what the individual or business's assets are. In theory, the ability to file for bankruptcy is good for the economy. It allows the debtor, the person who owes all this money, to have a second chance, and it allows the creditor to be able to regain some form of repayment, again, depending on whatever assets the person actually owns. Upon the successful completion of a bankruptcy filing, the debtor walks away not owing anything, and the creditor has hopefully regained some portion of the debt that was owed. Any decisions in federal bankruptcy cases are made by bankruptcy judges, and these decisions include whether you're allowed to file at all and what debt, if any, gets discharged. Now, there are various types of bankruptcy filings, but for the purposes of this video, we're only going to talk about 3. The names of these types of bankruptcy filings are identified by the chapter number in the bankruptcy code. The first one is Chapter 7, and this is typically when an individual, and sometimes business, gets to discharge their unsecured debt, think credit card or medical bills, and completely avoid paying them. To do this, many times the individual will need to liquidate family heirlooms, cash out the second home, and sell stocks and bonds in order to satisfy as much of the debt as possible. The second is Chapter 11, mostly used by businesses and individuals as well, but it involves more of a reorganization of the debt than it does with discharge. Chapter 11 allows a business to continue to conduct its business activities while its debt is being reorganized into a new debt repayment plan that is then supervised by the court. And lastly, Chapter 13. This is very similar to Chapter 11, where the debt is reorganized into a new payment plan. But the difference with Chapter 13 is the individual or business has identified that they have a very stable and consistent income. They also have specific debt limits that allow them to qualify for Chapter 13. Chapter 13 is one of the best ways for an individual to still repay their debt under a new repayment plan while being able to keep a lot of the assets they still own. Declaring bankruptcy can help relieve a lot of financial burden. Certainly, it will relieve the debt, it will help you save your home, it could even help you save your business. However, declaring bankruptcy also comes with a horrible credit score. Declaring bankruptcy will make it difficult to get a loan, to rent an apartment, to open a new credit card. Granted that if you're at the point where you're deciding whether or not to file for bankruptcy, likely your credit rating has already been damaged. But you have to consider the fact that Chapter 7 and Chapter 11 and Chapter 13 stay on your credit report for many, many years to come. So if you are considering filing for bankruptcy and are just overwhelmed by the amount of debt you have, please don't hesitate to speak with your financial advisor or your CPA about whether this is an option for you. One thing that I think a lot of people don't consider is that discharged debt many times becomes income and is taxable. So it's very important that you navigate these issues, not only with your bankruptcy attorney, but also with your CPA. We hope you enjoyed this latest installment of What is that? Please hit the like button and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Follow us on LinkedIn, Instagram, and Facebook at Accounting to Scale. Until the next video, your favorite CPA, Tiffany Gonzalez.